Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, Pastor Will.
How are you?
I am doing just fine. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Hey, everybody. How are you? I thought I would wear blue today.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, we got a problem.
I got a problem. All right. Okay, let's see. What's Jimmy wearing today? Jimmy Buffett.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Did you see where Elton John had his final concert?
I did see that.
I thought that's one I would like to go
Yeah.
to. Where was it?
London.
Oh, well.
Wembley Arena, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And, where he got his start.
Candle in the Wind.
Yep. You ever seen him before?
No.
Okay.
Never have.
I got the chance to in 1994
All right.
with Billy Joel. Billy
Okay.
Joel and Elton John.
All right. Well, that's good.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. We kind of got sidetracked before we got in the track today.
But you know what is different between the last time? Well, we didn't have the Will and Jimmy show last
No,
week.
you did an old rerun.
We just
from
did a
year
rerun
ago.
because
Yeah.
some of us were out of town last week.
Someone was. Yeah.
But you know what's different between our last Will and Jimmy show and this one? You are now a published author.
Oh my goodness. Yes, that is true. Well, let's tell them first.
Yep.
This is the Will and
Jimmy Show.
from downtown Kingsport, Tennessee.
And we're coming to you live from Studio Michelle.
Studio Michelle, right here in Shades of Grace.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to see everybody. So as you said.
Yep. You are a published author, and we'll get into that a little bit more in a few minutes. But right now, we're going to pause for just a minute. We've got a special little public service announcement.
Yes,
They used to call
commercial.
these. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is from our lay leader, Steve, and it's something he had on his heart that he wanted to say. So we're going to go ahead and share that with you first. We'll be right back.
Hello, everybody. This is Steve Wells, the lay leader at Shades of Grace Church. And I've had a couple of things on my mind for a little while that I want to share. And one of them right now is the book that Pastor Will has put together, the Shades of Grace book. I hope that those books do not sit on coffee tables or bedside tables. I hope that they're used as a tool for people to realize that there are a lot of misfortunate people in our community, in all communities. I feel everyone who pays attention to this place probably has got someone who suffers with mental illness or addiction or loneliness or the 4 L's. And I'm hoping that this book will change people's lives, because this place has definitely changed mine. But pass it on to friends and tell them that you'd like to have it back so you can pass it on to somebody else. It's been such an interesting journey. I was thinking back in the beginning when we were doing 35,000 meals a year, 3 meals a day, 6 days a week, and it was an unbelievable load. But I was thinking of the 60 plus churches that all came together to help this ministry, to honor God is what they were doing. There's so many issues out here. I've heard of churches that have not welcomed a lot of people, as far as the homeless and the street people, because they smell bad and they don't act the way that we think they should. But they are God's children, and they need to be treated that way. I really struggled with a lot of the issues when we first opened. I was riding into the church and I looked over to the right, and there's a small storage facility place on Sullivan Street, and I kept noticing all the people there. And what they were doing, they were living in the storage facilities. And it made me think, what would I do if I was dropped off in a town where I didn't know anybody, didn't have a wallet, didn't have any money, no ID? What would I do? And my first thought, I would find a church and ask for help. And I wonder how many people have gone to a church asking for help and have been turned away. I pray that a lot of pastors get to read this book and encourage any pastor that might have some spare time to come to Shades of Grace and see what it's like to deal with people on the street. It really is a rewarding ministry, as much as it aggravates me to no end. But that just lets me know that I'm not where I need to be yet. Please keep Pastor Will and the church in your prayers, because we sure do need them. May God bless each and every one of you. And thank you for all you do.
Okay.
Are we back?
We are back.
Okay.
We're back.
Was that a paid commercial or
I can't say.
just, we're not sure.
We can't talk about
Okay.
that.
Well, anyway, so Jimmy,
Yes.
we had a good weekend again.
We did.
Tell everybody
did.
about it.
A wonderful service. The Shades of Grace Choir was, we were blessed with their music again
Yes.
this week. And I tell you, I am really enjoying that, and I think everyone else is too.
Good participation.
Yes, very good. And
We're averaging anywhere between 14 and 17 people in our choir. So I think that's great, since we've only done it 3 times. And Lennon says he thinks we'll do this every Saturday.
at least one song
Yeah.
every Saturday.
Yeah.
Yep. I think that's a wonderful
Create
idea.
some enthusiasm and participation.
Everyone likes to be involved.
Yes.
Everybody has different talents and skills, and
Right.
I wouldn't be up there singing. That's not one of my things. I couldn't do that. But, not everybody can do what other people do.
Sure.
So it all
exactly.
works out.
Exactly.
Yep.
None of us can play like Lennon,
Right.
but he's gifted. He can play and lead the choir at the same time.
He can.
Yeah.
He sure can. He's a good leader.
Yes, he is.
He really is.
Yes,
We
he
were blessed
is.
to
We're
have
very
him.
blessed.
But yes, it was a good service. Big crowd
We had a
here in
good
the
crowd.
building. Several first-time guests.
Yes, we did.
Which is becoming a thing pretty
Yes,
much every Saturday
you remember,
morning.
Jimmy, about 5 or 6 weeks ago on a Friday morning, the lady came in and brought the hot donuts.
I do remember that, yes.
And turns out, and I won't really release any names or anything because she may be watching, but it's a really wonderful story. She brought us some hot donuts and introduced herself and told us that her son had passed away, and he had talked so much about this place, Shades of Grace, and had been here so much that she said, I'm trying to begin to get closure for his untimely passing, and I'm trying to go around and visit the places that he was familiar with and meet the people that he talked about. So she came in and brought donuts, and we talked about her son, and she showed us his picture, and we knew him.
We did.
Did not know he had passed. And so we talked about doing a memorial, which we are still in the process of planning. And then we invited her to worship and prayed with her before she left. And she promised me she would be here. Well, about 3 Saturdays ago, she showed up.
Right.
And she came for 2 Saturdays by herself. And this past Saturday, she brought her husband with her. And it just warmed my heart.
Yes.
And I'm so blessed. So if you're watching this, God bless you. We'll keep you in our prayers. We love you. And it's just good. But we have stories like that all the time.
We do.
Of new folks that are coming to Shades of
We
Grace.
do. And it's almost so much sometimes we forget.
We do.
And I really, and I say this a lot, that I really need to start writing these things down.
The stories down.
And I haven't, but someday, because
Right.
I'm going to regret. I already regret, because I know there's been so many wonderful things that have happened
Yeah.
that just have slipped away with time when we
And-
get so busy.
And we stay so busy in this building as we make the memories as they're happening. We never get a chance to write them down, and we get busier and busier, and they get lost in our minds.
Right. And then by the time that we slow down in the late afternoon evenings, I don't know
Find
about
ourselves
you,
taking a nap.
I'm so tired,
Right.
So, but that is one of my goals. I'm going to do better on that.
Yes.
And start taking some better
Well,
notes.
I think you do an excellent job. But that's what this is about here, too.
I think it's a wonderful. I know a lot of people have already got their copy.
Yes.
So let us know what you think. Have you read it? Are you halfway through? I have read it since the book came in. And I think it's, and how many times did we proofread
Proofread it,
it?
yes.
But there were still things in it that I read once it's been published that I don't remember reading in the
Yeah,
proof. You know,
yeah.
it's new each time
That's
you read
always
it.
the case.
But let's here soon and follow our Facebook page for an announcement. We're going to have a little book party.
Hey, yes, we
You
are.
know, we're
Yes.
loosely planning this, and
I think Rebecca mentioned that this
Yes,
morning. She
yeah.
brought that idea to us.
so we're going to be announcing that here over the next few days.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to have some ice cream, and
Yeah.
you're going to sign some books and give some away. And,
Yes, we're thinking that maybe it will be after a Wednesday Bible study. That's always over at 2 p.m. And that way people can stay and have some ice cream and fellowship and get their book signed.
Right. And if you've already got your book,
Yeah, bring it.
bring it with you, and
Right.
because you were giving out so many Saturday, there's no
Yes.
way you had time to sign all
That's
those.
right.
I know. So bring that with you, and I'm sure he won't mind
Well,
signing.
I told everybody to just draw a crooked line on it because that's about what it's going to be, and no one would know that it's not authentic, as my kid
Right,
says.
right.
So,
That's funny.
anyway, we hope
Yeah.
that you do enjoy Reflections from God's Living Room, and I think it brought back a lot of good memories for me, even though, we put this together over the period of the last couple of years, taking notes, just like Jimmy said, writing down some journaling and that kind of stuff. But we hope it'll be a blessing to you. And if you still don't have a paper copy, it's possible to get one. If you're living far away, we can mail you one. There is no charge for these. If you're close by, we ask you to pick one up. But Jimmy, let them know what we're going to do in the digital format.
Right. We are working to make this a digital book as well, where it's in a PDF file. So all you have to have is that link to be able to read it on your smartphone, on your computer, on your tablet.
We'll have an ebook.
It'll be
You
an
can be
ebook,
sitting
right.
on your plane. Well, I know Terry Lark, our parish nurse, who doesn't get to be with us much because of his work schedule, but was flying up to Boston last weekend, and he sent a text back to Pastor Regina concerning her Bible study that he listened to the podcast while he was on the plane on the way to Boston. So, you can do that too. We have all of our services are on podcast, but you can also eventually be able to read Reflections from God's Living Room in an ebook format digitally, right?
You can.
Okay.
You sure can. And that will be available soon. So follow us again on Facebook, and that's where it will be.
Yes.
It will be on Facebook for you to go back and find
Right.
that. And you can actually save that once it's on Facebook. You can download that free of charge.
Right.
There's no charge.
Yeah, no charge.
And therefore, you've got it on your smartphone, your whatever device, computer that you're using. It'll be there on demand for you to read
Right.
anytime you would like, and
Yeah.
keep it forever.
Exactly.
Because this book is meant to be read.
It is.
And
What did Steve call it? A tool?
a tool, right? It is.
tool.
It's a ministry tool, and
Yeah.
we're all guilty of buying a book, getting real excited about a
Yeah.
book, ordering it,
Right.
and then when it comes in, I've got a whole row of books in my living room that I've had every intention of reading, but life happens. So
It does.
make sure and a lot of this book speaks of events that happened prior to COVID.
Yes. These were just a glimpse of things that happened really from 2014 up until 2023 for the last 9 years.
Yeah, and a lot of it is more kind of 2021 and back.
Right.
We did add a few more current stories in there.
The actual devotionals that are in here were written during the pandemic, and you'll pick up on that. But yeah, you're right.
A lot of the stories and the situations and the people that we don't name by names, but
Right.
those situations. So my point in saying that is, I'm sure you already have another book prepared.
Oh,
just got to.
I could literally do dozens of books, and it's just taking the time to do it.
Because there are so many situations every day.
Yeah.
Every day. When
We've had enough here today already.
we have. It's been a busy day here as usual. You made a post on Facebook earlier.
Yes.
We had,
Yeah, tell them about that, Jimmy, and then I'll give a little
let's see if we're talking about the same thing. What are you talking about?
about the high blood pressure.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
all right, we
Yeah.
were on the same
Yeah,
page.
okay.
We did have someone coming off the streets. She's not from this area. She's from Middle Tennessee, so she's kind of a stranger in a strange land.
Yes.
And she's near 50 and has had high blood pressure issues since she was a teenager. And
had a heart attack.
had a heart attack 8 years ago. And she came in and she said, I can feel that my blood pressure is high. Do you have a way to check it? And we did have a health screening today, but it had literally just finished up.
And she was on Central Time
Right.
with her watch, being from Nashville. And so the screening had not ended more than 5 minutes
Right.
before she walked up. So Uzoma, if you are watching this, you just missed a good case today.
Yes. And thankfully, we do keep a blood pressure monitor
Yes.
here at Shades of Grace, a very good one.
And someone with some medical knowledge was
Yes,
there to
and
help her.
and helped her and checked her blood pressure the first time, and it was extremely high. So she went and sat over in our prayer garden area, which by that time it quietened down in here, and it was calm and it was cool. And she sat there for 30, 45 minutes, and she came back over to check her blood pressure, and it was even higher
continuing to
than it was before.
Blow
So
up.
she really didn't want medical assistance, but I was able to persuade her, you really need to get this checked out. So we called 911, and within just a few minutes they were here and they checked. And because she didn't have any chest pains and didn't have a headache, they said it wasn't a critical,
Right.
didn't have to be transported to the emergency room.
but to keep a close watch on it.
But they suggested that she go lie down in a cool place. And I'm not faulting the ambulance drivers for saying that, but it just makes you think, well, where is that?
When you're homeless
Where
and
can
in
you
the
go?
streets, and if Shades of Grace isn't open at the moment, or if we're gone, or if it's a weekend or night, where do you go to lie down
Yeah.
to rest when you're about to have a heart attack?
Right.
Without being arrested, because Tennessee passed legislation that it's illegal
It
to
can't-
sleep in public places.
It can be a felony.
Yes.
It can be a felony.
So that's just things that we're facing and dealing with. And I love Tennessee. I love it here. It's where I live. It's where I own my home, and it's where I plan to be buried. I love Tennessee. And I just really am sad that we have those kinds of laws that go into effect. But we're not here to talk about politics at the moment, are we, Jim?
No.
But
But
where do you go? Where could we go but to the Lord? As the old
and
song
what,
says.
it's something for us to sit back and reflect on how thankful we are. When I feel bad, I get cranky.
Right. Oh, you and me both.
I do, and ask my family. They'll tell you. But when I don't feel good, I never have to worry about either having a cool place in the summer or a warm place in the winter
Right.
to lay down when I don't feel good.
Right.
Can you imagine? And this lady was fine with leaving and going to find a place, but my heart just broke for her as I watched her walk out the door. And I did, kind of steer her in the right direction of somewhere she could go.
Right.
Somewhere that I see people able to rest and
Right.
they're not really bothered by anyone. And I hope that she found the rest, the cool place that she
because
needs.
we are not a shelter here. Just so you know, before the pandemic, we opened frequently. On hot days, we were open all the days with cold water. We still hand out gallons of water every day in the little bottles. But we would open in extremely cold weather. And we did this past winter when it was 0. We did open up.
Right.
But we're not registered to do that. We don't have a sprinkler system. And we're not certified to be a shelter. And there's so many legal, logistical things now
Right.
that you just, the only way we were able to do it even then is by being a church. That we weren't really confronted
And
too much
we
about.
had to use the term warming station.
Warming station, yes.
That
Or
kind of
cooling station.
Or right.
We cannot use the word
Right.
shelter. But we're doing our best to try to help the folks. And, it's the more we try to do, the more needs we see at hand. So this is a great problem, but it's also a great opportunity somehow
It is many times.
to ask God to be glorified through it all.
Yes.
It's hard.
So, well, talking about weather, it's going to be a beautiful weekend
Yes.
this weekend.
And guess what's happening?
And Friday evening,
Yeah.
you can come down, join us, sit outside, and watch the Fun Fest parade.
Day
go
after
by.
tomorrow. What time does that start?
It starts at 6:30, but the parade doesn't get by here until 6:45. Oh no, I'm sorry, 7:15, 7:30.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it goes down and up and loops around. We're on the tail end
Right.
of it, but yeah, it's one of my favorite things of the year. I
Okay.
really enjoy that. So come by. We're going to have some chairs out. We've got cold water, some
Yes.
snacks, some little cups to give away
Right.
and things. So
Yeah, and we do have restrooms here
We do,
that
yes.
if you need to step in and use the restroom, you can do that. In town, we always try to offer that
And
for the folks.
if you're someone who has heat issues and would like to watch the parade, you can come in. We'll put a chair up at the front, somewhere up at the windows here, and you can see because it literally goes right by here.
Yes, it does.
So we have that option too. And we will have chairs. I did make a post. I said limited amount of chairs outside. And the only reason is we only have so much of
So much
space.
sidewalk space, yes.
But you're welcome to them. First come, first serve.
And you are
Yeah.
planning to live stream it again,
Planning on live streaming again this year.
as long as
yes.
the Jeeps don't shut us down again.
Yeah, I hope not.
That's an inside
yeah,
joke. but
yeah. But yeah, we did get shut down last year.
Yeah.
But we started right back
Explain to them what happened.
up. Yeah, there was a Jeep club that had about 10 or 12
Yeah.
Jeeps in a row, and they were all playing music.
I'd like to have been
pretty
riding
loud.
along in one of
And
them.
one of them was playing the old "We Will Rock You" song, the ball game song, and Facebook picked that up, and it hit us with
We did
copyright.
not have copyright authorization to broadcast that is what happened.
And the thing is, it was so faint in the
Yeah.
background, it wasn't even loud. But Facebook is controlled by a bot. Like it's a computer that picks those things up. It's
Yeah.
not actually a human. And when it picks that up, it's set to shut it down. So
And that'll do that a lot with pre-recorded music more
Yes.
than when Landon does his live music and Oscar, we don't run into that so much, do we?
not as much, no. But sometimes when if someone uses like a backing track,
Right.
it will pick it up. But knock on wood and thank the good Lord above, we've not been shut down in a while.
It's been a while,
It's been a good
but
while.
it does happen.
Because we have
So,
kind of learned the ways of what to do, what
circumvent
not
that.
to do.
Well, someone had asked us this past Saturday in worship, they would like to have a song played and sung pre-recorded soundtrack right before the service started in memory of one of our members who passed away
Right.
this past year. And we had to tell her that we run a high risk of being shut down, and when we're trying to record all of this, it really throws a monkey wrench in it, so.
Right. And
But that's why.
another note, a lot of the funerals that we do,
Yeah.
there's special pre-recorded music that is requested. And those will always be a part of the actual service. And that's one reason why we don't do most of the funerals actually live.
Yeah.
We record and play at a later date. That gives me the opportunity to edit that part out. But we do provide a DVD to the family.
Yes.
And it's a DVD of actually what the service was like
Right.
here at Shades of Grace, which reminds me, need you to make a phone call for me today
Okay.
for the DVDs that are on my desk.
Yes,
Yes.
we do so many funerals and memorial services here. If you're not familiar with Shades of Grace, every year I've averaged doing 70 funerals a year, really. That's not exaggerating. And we do a lot of them in this building. We've done 3 in one day in this building before, more than once. But a lot of families have allowed us the privilege of serving them. There's never any charge to anything we do, and providing a good service to remember the loved ones. And a lot of people we do have nobody to remember them. Sometimes it's just us. But we always provide a DVD. And some of you have not picked up your DVD. And if that would be you, if you happen to get word of this, Jimmy has them here. You need to come and pick them up. There's no
Yes.
charge.
Chances are that one of that family may be watching.
Yeah, maybe they're watching.
Janice Baxter.
Okay, Janice. Yes, Janice. Well, Janice was here in worship Saturday.
Yes, yeah. And she and I made them over the weekend.
Okay.
But and talking about the funeral DVDs, something else came to my mind. We make the DVD, really, whether the family kind of requests it or not, we keep them here
Right.
at Shades of Grace. And I've probably got 40 that have not been picked up over the years. But you remember about a year ago, I was doing a birth certificate for a lady, probably in her mid-20s. And she told me her last name, and it was a very uncommon last name. And I had heard that name before, and then when I'm typing in the information, I have to have the mother and father's name. And I typed in, she said her father's name, and I asked her, I said, did we do a funeral for your father? And she teared up. And she said, yes, you did, but I couldn't make it. I just wasn't at a place. And I said, I have a DVD right here. Would you like one? And I had it right there in the drawer.
What a
And,
blessing, yes.
And then this past weekend, we had some heat pump issues over
Yes.
the weekend. And the tech who ended up coming out, we had did a service for his mother back in 21. And those DVDs are here for them to pick up.
Yes.
So, and we've got some that are 5-6 years old, but you just never know when somebody's going to want one.
Well, another thing Jimmy has started doing, as you know, one of our ministries is providing birth certificates for those who request them. And people have to have that to get housing, to get jobs, all kinds of things in life. And so many people over the years here, in the last 9 years, have passed away in our community and congregation. And we start looking around, and there's not a single photograph of that person. We've done so many funerals and services for friends that we had no picture for. And recently, I think we told you we did one for an 87-year-old man who the only picture available was an old mugshot, which we would not use. But he rode his bicycle always, so we put a bicycle on the front of the obituary card. But we didn't have a picture. So Jimmy has started, with the person's permission, the applicants who get birth certificates now have their photograph made.
Yes.
And Jimmy makes it in full color, a full page, and files it away with their other information,
And
which is a great idea.
At this point, everyone has been on board because they understand the importance of it.
Right.
And gosh, how many services have we done where I wish we would have had a photo?
Yeah.
We have, with the family permission, years ago, I remember one service, we did use a mugshot.
Yeah.
That was all that
Sometimes
they
that's
had.
all you have.
And actually, a couple. I can think of another one too, right off the top of my head. And that's sad.
sad,
That's really
yes.
sad. And again, like I said, it's those things that we take for granted, take advantage
yes.
of. And but yeah, so far everybody has been receptive to that. I wish I would have been doing that a long time ago. I don't know why I didn't, but it just
Right.
come to my mind.
Well, I want to make one little statement. I know Carolyn Easley had helped us a lot over the last few years she took a lot of pictures a number of years ago when we first opened up. And I've called her, and she's come through a few times. And we want to express sympathy and prayers for Carolyn and the loss of her longtime significant person in her life who passed away, Bill.
Yes.
So you're in our thoughts and prayers. And thank you for bailing us out and having some pictures for us when we needed them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Love Carolyn.
Yes.
Sweet, sweet person.
Yes.
I bet I can tell you something about Carolyn you don't know.
What's that?
She is a huge Lionel Richie fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yep. So
Okay.
if I ever post anything on Facebook regarding Lionel Richie, she's on it.
Okay. All right. There you go. Well, where's your Lionel Richie t-shirt?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to get one.
Anybody out there? Jimmy is a collector.
Yes.
He loves vintage stuff.
Yes.
T-shirts and old records. That's all I'll say.
Anything vintage, really.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
I do.
Okay.
Yes. But yeah, Carolyn, she's a good person.
Yes.
We miss her for sure. We'd love to have her back.
We've had such a diverse congregation and such a fluid congregation that just moves and moves over the years. But it was really good this past Saturday to have our former bishop, Virginia Taylor, everybody calls her Dindy, and her husband Rusty. And they came, and I wanted to present her to be one of the first people to receive one of our books, which we gave to her and Rusty. And so, but it was good to see them.
So how many do you think you've given away so far?
We ordered 500. We've given away Well over 200, maybe well over 200
I would
so
say
far.
so.
So,
And if you ask for one by mail, those are on their way.
yes,
And if anybody does need us to ship one, just provide us with your
Right.
address, and we'll get that out to you.
like we said, there's no charge. We don't put a cost on the ministry here at Shades of Grace. But someone said, well, what if I send a donation? That's how we operate. Offerings, gifts, that's really what makes it flow here at Shades. We don't even talk about it in our worship services. Maybe we need to do that a little more, but we just have a couple of offering boxes in the building, and people are free to drop it in or not drop it in, and we don't talk about money.
Right.
So
Right.
God has blessed us in doing that. But we thank all of you who are viewing and who does support, each of you who supports us. And we would never go into listing of names and all that. But God bless you all. And sometimes we may be busy and we forget to say thank you, or we forget to maybe make a little post, as we did here 2 weeks ago when we had a very large funeral. And it was really a part of a 2-day event
Yes.
here in the building. And we're so busy, some things slip by.
Yes.
But please know that whatever you do in the name of Jesus Christ is never forgotten, and it's never in vain.
Right. And we know and if we miss putting it on social media, it's always
It's an oversight.
by an accident.
Yeah, it'd just be an oversight.
Sometimes things just get so hectic.
Right.
And that's what we were talking about. You can start making a post on Facebook, something happens, and a couple hours later you come back, that post is gone.
Well, lots of times, I don't know if there's a way to get around this, Jimmy, but lots of times we're very busy here. Someone might bring lunches for the day or bring something in, and I'll make a post, and sometimes I'll put a picture with it, and I'll be working, and I'm not the best person working all this stuff anyway, but I start texting in, and when there's a photograph with it, if I get distracted for 30 seconds, and that happens all the time, or my phone rings, then it cuts it all out, and you don't know how many times I have struggled 4, 5, and 6 times before I get a post on during the day, because we're that busy here.
Yes.
And we get that many interruptions constantly, right?
Right.
So I don't know if there's any way to get around that. I guess we
Most
do
likely
pretty
not.
good to get in what we do,
I
but
think so.
please know if we fail to ever acknowledge you, we appreciate it, and it's just an oversight.
Someone asked me the other day if I did the funeral services for the DVDs, if I do them here, and I said no. I do most of the video editing work, like for the Will and Jimmy show, for our Sunday service and funerals and anything like that, I do at home. And she said, well, gosh, why wouldn't you just do it here? And I think, like, when you,
No one knows how busy it is.
for me anyway, when I do a funeral service, that is a serious and important moment.
Yes.
And it deserves that attention. That was my answer. And if you're so busy and you're distracted, it doesn't get your full attention, and it could not be what it's supposed to
Right,
be.
you're right.
And you get a one chance deal at that.
Yes.
You don't get a.
That's right.
That's it. You get one chance.
Yes.
To make that right.
And we always want to give that to the people as a lasting gift,
Right.
in honor and memory of their loved ones.
Right.
One other thing, Miss Bell, if you're watching us tonight, I've been giving out your little heart prayers everywhere. And Miss Bell makes these with love. They're beautiful. And it says, this little heart prayer cloth is a reminder of God's love for you, Philippians 4:13. You know what that says, Philippians 4:13?
What's that?
I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. But thank you, Miss Bellbird, for these little things. We give them out all over. Where did I give them out the other day? I gave a whole bunch of them out somewhere.
The funeral?
At a funeral,
gravesite?
yeah. At a funeral, at a graveside at a funeral. I took and gave out to all the family members, yeah.
Excuse my cough.
That's all
I
right.
think it's allergies and stuff, but and I have cleared my water today. And anyhow, well, you know what I forgot to do?
What?
I forgot to look at the time.
What time is it?
I don't know. I don't know
It's
what time we started.
2:49. What time did we
It
start?
seems like it's been a while, but we're going to put a clock up back
Yes,
there
we are.
somewhere.
Oh, that's good.
So
Let's see.
I did have some questions
All right.
ready. How about we just do one today?
Do one.
Because I think we're going to run out of time.
This is either pass or fail.
That's right. So these are questions courtesy of our Canadian friends who will soon
We'll be here, yes. this
And
week.
hopefully maybe we might have
Probably
friends
watching
again.
here tonight locally.
Yes. All right, so the theme of these questions are, what a wise guy. What a wise guy. And this is about Solomon.
Solomon?
Solomon.
Okay.
Question number 1 for this week. When God appeared to Solomon in a dream and he told him to request anything, what did Solomon ask for?
Well, I know with me, I probably, if that old genie came up and I rubbed the bottle, I'd probably say, give me a unlimited American Express card that will never run out of money, right?
I don't think you would.
No, I probably wouldn't.
No.
No, that wouldn't be the right thing to do. But I'll tell you what Solomon did.
What did he ask for?
He prayed for wisdom. Lord, give me wisdom. And sometimes I question his wisdom. Anybody that would have 300 wives and 700 concubines, but hey, back then, if you could afford them, you could keep them.
I guess so.
Right.
Yeah, I guess so. But you made a really good comment about wisdom this past Saturday during the service.
Okay.
And I recorded you with my phone and turned it into a Facebook
A reel.
reel.
I saw that, yes.
So have you all been seeing those? I've been trying to do one a week.
Yeah, the little
And I
reel.
just kind of randomly catch something that he says, and I thought, that was perfect for this week, and that goes along
All
with
right.
this too. So,
Great. Yes.
Anyway, but yeah, that's it.
Well, and one other thing, Miss Diane in Greenback, we want you to know this is your honor tonight. Thank you for all your prayers for us and sharing the good news about Shades of Grace and the Will and Jimmy Show.
Yes.
We appreciate you.
Well, it's. I'm sure I can say everybody would agree. It's good to have you back.
Yes.
It's good to
be
have
back.
you as a famous published author
Oh,
now.
my. Yeah, I went to Pennsylvania for just a few days. I left on Monday and was back on Thursday, but it's good to get away. My phone did not ring until I was in my car heading down Interstate 81 in northern Pennsylvania, and my phone started ringing, first time in 4 days. So I knew that it was time, to get back with it.
Yeah,
And we hit the ground running.
that we sure did.
I hope
Yeah.
to see you all Saturday morning. Come and sing in the choir with us.
Yes.
Quarter
Yes.
till 10, we're going to practice. Oscar's going to be doing special music this week.
He is. He is. I hear he's going to be using an electric guitar this week.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, buddy.
So Oscar, we love Oscar. He's a member of our congregation. And by the way, we want to say a prayer for Katie's sister, Oscar's sister-in-law, Lisa, who ended up having a medical procedure this weekend. I haven't heard, but hopefully all is well with that.
Yes.
So we keep all of you in our thoughts and prayers.
So come sing with us. I won't tell everybody what the song is. We know what it is, but it's a good song.
Okay.
You know what that song always reminds me of? The Andy Griffith Show.
Okay.
There was an episode where they kept singing that song over and over
Okay.
and over. We're singing. So
All right.
see if anybody can guess what that is.
Okay.
It is a hymn.
All right.
So see if anybody can guess.
All right.
All right.
Bye, Jimmy.
Good night. See you Saturday morning.
Bye.